Hey, how are you doing today, Jules?
I'm doing good. I'm having a good day.
Awesome. So I'd love to start with how you got this role in Guilty Party.
So I was doing an off-Broadway show called Paris at the Atlantic, and I was in Juilliard. I was in my final year at the Juilliard School, and I had gotten reached out to by Rob DeCina, the casting director at CBS. And I went in for this part, and I had been auditioning, and I wasn't getting anything, which I just thought, I'm the new kid on the block, whatever. Nobody wants to talk to me. And then I went in for this audition, and after I read the script, I just really identified with the language, and I really loved what Rebecca Adelman was going for. And they called me back, flew me out to LA. I got to meet them, and then the pandemic happened, and so I left New York. I went to Atlanta so I could be with my mother, and my partner and I were quarantining in a hotel when they called me with the good news.
Well, congratulations. I love hearing the story of, how everyone finds their role and finds a role that really fits for them. The show and the character that you play is kind of unique and interesting. And what was your process of like just getting in the mindset for this character and preparing for this role?
Mm-hmm. Well, I watched a lot of documentaries. I did a lot of read a lot of books, and I also was able to collaborate with the showrunner Rebecca Adelman and the writers in the writers' room to sort of really shape Toni and all of her interests and who she is. Yes, in prison, but who she was outside of prison. And her bringing that into the season was such a gift, especially me being somebody I don't nobody know. Um, and so, yeah, and I watched this one documentary that kind of blew my mind about folks that are in prison that are in like upstate New York and how they have like Bard College and you're able to like take courses in with Bard and get a degree. And I was really fascinated by that, and I brought that to Rebecca, and I was like, I feel like Toni is just maybe a genius. Like I think she's just interested in so many different things. So we peppered that in as well. And yeah, that was my preparation for Guilty Party.
That's awesome. Was there any other maybe small or unique things that you were able to add into your character that wasn't necessarily like you didn't necessarily read in the script?
Yeah, I really like the idea of her being into anime, and sort of her loving that world, that fantasy. She's into tattooing and drawing. She's an artist. She's a dancer. She was a part of a dance team. She's first generation Guyanan, and those were sort of the things that we peppered in. And it's funny because a lot of my black friends are really into anime, and I was like, I would love to see a black female queer character that's super into anime on television. And Rebecca Adelman was super into it, so we put it in.
That's awesome that you're able to bring in some of your experience and personalities and thoughts into that. And obviously you've had lots of experience in a theater. Tell me some of the process like that's a little different and similar to theater and stepping into this TV show.
Mhm. I mean, my favorite part of theater and doing TV is the research, so that you can sort of fill out the world and the dreaming aspect of it. The one thing that I truly missed, but is because of COVID, it wasn't necessarily possible. It's just rehearsal.
Hmm.
Being able to kind of throw something, see what sticks, see what doesn't stick. You know, I sort of had to do that on my own. But Kate Beckinsale, who's incredibly collaborative, we were able to, like, if I had the script, make certain cuts and make certain additions. And there was a lot of room for play when we were on set. So that's what the like rehearsal is my favorite thing. I love to rehearse, I love to research. The doing of it is great, but I just feel like fully equipped when we're shooting when I have those things.
Tell me a story about like a time that maybe you did a lot of retakes and then finally you're like, oh, I think we're getting there.
There was a scene, it's a small scene because it's a flashback of like running in the woods. Like I was running in the woods, it was snowing, and we couldn't figure out what the shot was gonna be. So they were like, Jules, run really fast. And I was like, okay, I'll just run super fast. And then I almost like fell down a hill. And I was like, I don't know if like running super fast is the way, but what if I like cut this way? And we were able to sort of land on certain shots, and they were like, "This is really beautiful. I don't think we need to like do anything else." And then there was a scene where I'm with my husband, and it's like the first time where we realized that we loved each other or liked each other. And like we're kissing under the snow. My nose was running. I felt everything but cute. But when I saw it in post, I was like, "Oh, this is so cute and this is beautiful." And we were able to sort of work it out, even though we had a ridiculous amount of snow around us. But that was one scene that comes to mind.
That's awesome. I love to hear the stories of maybe like a day that it was kind of challenging or a scene that was extremely challenging, obviously without giving spoilers, but like
Mm-hmm.
what were some of the like your most challenging memories so far?
There's a scene where, because there's like the race element in Guilty Party. And, we're doing something incredibly challenging, which is like trying to create humor in a space where it's it's a terrible situation. And so there's a scene that I did with Kate where it was basically a call out where she's calling me out, I'm calling her out. And it's me also revealing like a part of myself that I've never told her that's incredibly vulnerable, that required a lot of emotion and to be like available for each other. And the verdict for George Floyd came out, and that night, and I was just very emotional the day of. And I was also, when you're shooting, you're away from family, and especially with COVID, it's really bad. And I just was incredibly emotional that day. I was like, I don't really want to be shooting. I wish I could just have a moment to kind of collect myself and to not be working right now. And then Kate just reached across and she was like, if you need to take time, do it. Like, it's okay. Like, if you need 10 minutes, 15 minutes a day, please go do it. We're here and we're going to make what we need to make. But just know that, like, you got to take care of yourself so that we can do what we need to do. And I took my time, which, as a Black woman in general, just saying that I'm going to take my time and I'm going to come back and I'm ready to do this is very rare. And especially this being the first time I was ever on set and doing something so huge. I always felt that over my head. But then I got locked into what we needed to do. And I could just look into her eyes and just know that we have this.
That's beautiful. Thanks for sharing that story. I'd love to hear about your inspiration. So like kind of where you are in your career, like who or what inspires you right now?
I'm inspired by my friends. A lot of my friends are actors. One of my friends, Sadiq Saunderson, he's on Wu-Tang right now. He's like one of my best friends. And Moses Ingram, she was in Queen's Gambit. My friend, Catherine Renee Turner. I'm always inspired by my friends because they force me to level up. They force me to be my best and operate at my best because I see what their hard work has gotten them. And if I think about someone whose artistry I was always inspired by, especially as a kid, her name is Mary Alice. She played the Oracle in The Matrix. But she's like a famous stage actress. And I always loved how unhinged and grounded she was in her work. And she also got a Tony for playing Rose in Fences. But as a stage actress, I loved watching her when I was a kid.
I love how we're able to be, inspired by so many different things and, bring that into our work. And hopefully, there's some things that this show, Guilty Party, inspires people with or just makes people think and stuff. So we're excited for this to come out. And thanks for, putting so much transparency and passion into your role. And thanks for taking time for this interview.
Thank you, Joe.